This ridiculous year and its challenges have been met head-on by a pair of saints living in the wilderness with their small yet hostile and relentless tribe of untamed cubs, simply referred to as the Tiny Vikings. This is a never-before-seen glimpse into the lives of these wild hearts running amok in their natural habitat deep in the heart of the Garden State. Raw footage captured by a crew of journalists so daring and courageous they were willing to risk it all to bring you this eye-opening dose of media coverage. Parental discretion is both advised and suggested. The subjects were lured to a secret tribal woodland community to partake in various activities in an attempt to expose the Tiny Vikings to societal norms and human interaction. The crew was at first suspicious when what the locals called a hayride was thought to be a ploy to parade them around the various camps with the intention of selling them to the highest bidder. Well, in fact, they discovered it was simply something referred to as a tour that merely left them with sore bottoms and a pocket full of lollipops. Silly Vikings. This daring pair of correspondents have asked to remain anonymous for obvious safety reasons, so we will simply refer to them as April and Shu in order to protect their identity. Shu, being a particularly crafty individual of Moroccan descent, handmade this portable dwelling place, woven together with breathtaking Persian wool and fine Egyptian linens. Here's a quick glimpse at the assembly of this one-of-a-kind masterpiece.
Let me see ya. You like it in there?
Yes.
Let me see you in the tent. It's pretty big in there, right? Let me see, Angel. Let me see how big it is in there. Wow, it's big in there.
Left to fend for themselves with only the bare essentials, it was only by the mighty hand of God that they survived the terror of the night. Daylight came without a single moment of slumber, and the sweet aroma of sustenance filled the air. April, a longtime sous chef for the famed Gordon Ramsay in his Michelin star restaurant La Passeau Latron in Bordeaux, France, treated the tribesmen to culinary exquisitry on a grilling device that Shu configured in a matter of minutes with used tin cans and fossils dug up by the small man they referred to as Zion. The bright day unfolded a wide array of activities planned and executed by these gracious hosts and their guests that began with something the humans called hygiene. Here, this sacred act is demonstrated by the children and the patriarch of the tribe, followed by consumption of mass quantities, then hunting for fish using nothing but their bare hands to catch the elusive sea creatures. and more mass consumption. Next, they tried their hand at paper glue paste, sticking light lanterns, followed by a mystical feat of sorcery, starting a fire without any wood or means to create a spark. Mass consumption, and the native tribal dance to ward off unwanted spirits. All in all, this place was filled with wonder and joy, and was the perfect environment to conduct the social experiment, and for Shu and April to collect enough data to determine whether the Vikings could integrate into society or not. And at this time, we are saddened to report that the results were not as you might expect. At the conclusion of this weekend, it was decided that the tiny Vikings were not fit or equipped at this present time to commingle with common folk, and would be sent back to the forest to live amongst the wildlife in their tiny house and undergo intense training in etiquette and behavioral health. We hope you enjoyed this program and will join us again for the next installment of Tiny Vikings.